Right, okay, today we're going to be playing with some old style NES consoles. I've got a stack of them here that need to be sorted out. First things first, I need to drag an RF cable over. And I'm going to need a power cable. So let me delve into a box just down here. Unwrap one of these wonderful third-party power supplies. And we'll just, so that's got no power at all. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to chuck that one to one side for a sec. Well, I say to one side. I'm going to grab this one that's in pieces. It's been in pieces since before Christmas. And that's not working either. So, I'm half wondering if this power supply is knackered. Let's get another one unwrapped. And yes, the red light power's on that. Obviously it's not going to do anything because there's no game in it and it's not plugged into the telly. And yeah, this one goes as well. I can't believe that. Had an actual dead machine. So let me go and find a cartridge. Super Mario Brothers, just pop that in. Ah, well, that one seems to work. Well, we're not going to be able to fix that one because it's not broken. Try the next one. Hooray! We've got something that's knackered. Excellent. Right, well, let's bring this back over here. And get it apart. Oh, I'll only just put this screwdriver set away. And now it doesn't even need that screwdriver. Some of these are held together with game bits and some are held together with Phillips. This one happens to be Phillips. For some reason that doesn't want to fit in there, but I'll pop those out of the way. And that one. We'll get the top off. I presume it's going to be the cartridge connector. It usually is. Now to get this off. And that off. I'm going to take the little brush here and just give those a bit of a clean up. And then this I'm going to just get in here and try and lift them up a touch. So I'll start here. First things first, just give it a good clean through. Take an old card and a bit of cloth. Now, that should have cleaned up those pins a bit, but I still want to try and just lift them ever so slightly up. You can't quite see, but these two are now slightly more raised than those. Obviously, don't be too rough, because the last thing you want to do is snap them off. But once you get in the flow of it, it's not too difficult. Just need to slide it down the side and underneath, and then just a little lift. Right, that's those lifted. Now I'm going to try and get this back on here without having to take the board out, because I'm a lazy shit. And I can't be bothered. Right, it definitely feels a lot tighter. So and it still doesn't come on. There we go. Awesome. It's still a bit wonky. So, we've got one sorted. It needs to go back together. I'm going to put it back together in the blink of an eye. Right, that's the top on. Well, just the middle of it on. Just want to make sure that it is still working. No. It's doing this. Well, that's not particularly handy, is it? I don't know why I did that. Or to make it look funky. It's working intermittently, so put loads of that in there. Put that on like that. Get it unplugged, and we will come back to it in a bit. But in the meantime, let's get the next one off the pile. Make sure it powers on. Oh, it's a purple screen. It's a bit different to the other one. And let's get another Mario. Woohoo! Right. That feels very loose. So let's do the same with this one. I'm going to strip it down and come back to you once it's in bits. I'll take the power out first. Don't want to electrocute myself. Right, see you in a sec. Right, that's that stripped down. We've just got to get these out now. That last one came off much easier than this. But it's off now. Ah, it's got some kind of sticky crap. You can see that. That could be half the reason it's not working. if the cartridge isn't getting all the way to the back, or if I just stab myself, great at this. I'm just going to bleed over everything now. Let's put that out of the way. I'm going to try and IPA that and not muller myself, because if I get IPA in this cut, that's really going to hurt. Should have just done this in the first place. Remember, this is educational, not tutorial. In fact, it's not even educational unless you're taking the advice of don't stab yourself with a set of tweezers. It's, I don't know what it is, boredom. You're obviously bored because you're watching this. Right. Yeah, ignore that. Could quite possibly be why it's not working. I mean, it might not be, but let's try and clean that out. Toffee of some description, or I mean, it might be conductive, but personally I think it's just stopping the cartridge from sitting exactly where it needs to, and in turn that is then not working. I mean, the rest of it looks okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring it back and just, apart from maybe giving that a good once over. I'm not going to try and bend the pins back or anything just yet. You can go on there. You and your weird sticky toffee, whatever you are, can go on there. Where'd I put the cartridge? Oh, it's up here. Heh. Well, that's looking tidy. Take it out, slide it in, close it. Yeah. So this time let's put a few screws in. You'd think I had something better to do with an evening than faff about with this crap. But no, there's no decent football on the telly box. That was last night. Somehow United won 3-1, even though they're shit. Last time I checked, Liverpool were beating Arsenal 1-0. I don't like Arsenal, but I really don't like Liverpool, so I prefer a draw. Why is that so... I mean, come on, mate. You came out of there with less effort than you've got to go in. Maybe you'll have to come back out again in 2 seconds' time. I've got bits of this weird toffee stuck to my fingers. The NES is such a finicky device. Ain't ya, Mr. Nintendo? Right. Well, let's see if we can't lift a few pins without messing about and taking it out. Didn't think I'd be able to get in there, but... Right, let's have a look at that again. Hey, it's even worse. No, it's not. It's definitely not supposed to work like that though. That is not squashed down. all I can say is that needs a proper new 72 pin connector. But let's get that out the way. And let's chuck in that first one we've done. I've got a use for this thing. Here's that one we done first. So that's been sitting on soak. So it turns on and works straight away. Doesn't work like that, which is how it's supposed to operate. Does work like that. So the first one is a fix. That's good. So I'm going to put it back together and we'll move on to a third one. Okay, and the last one, well, I'll say the last one. This one's got a bit of a knackered top, so if I can get this one going, then it's going to get the top off one of the dead ones. Power's on. And yeah, straight away we got the flashing grey screen. Get a bit of IPA in there just to, but that, little fingers, there's no grip there at all. Yeah, well, that's coming apart. You know the drill. I'll see you when we're in bits. Okay, right, we're in bits of sorts. Power cable. There you are. So yeah, it looks iffy. Now, there's a little trick where you can slide it in and just sit it on the lip and push it in and down. But even that's not working on this one. No. So let's try the stupid little trick of bending the pins out. Again, you don't want to bend them out too much. That's what I think I've done on that second one. Right. Let's see if that's done anything different. No, it's still, even though it grips it nice and tightly now, okay, this one could be a bit more interesting. I'm going to break it down a bit more, so I'll be back in a sec. Right, we're a bit more stripped down. I'm going to unplug that from the power because it seems like a wise thing to do. Squeeze that back in there. Right, where's the brush? In fact, let's just pop a few more screws out so that I can actually remove the board. Yeah, epoxy thing. Get out of my way. Right. So it looks tidy enough. Aha! Right, now we're getting somewhere. If I hold it there, we've got something on the screen. Is Mario going to run off in a second? Yeah, so it is working. Where's this thing that goes on there? Sweet. So let's try and see what happens if we screw a few screws in. Right. That still comes up. Obviously you can see the flickering because we're recording this at 60 hertz and the telly's 50. But take that out. What does it do if we tighten these? Right up. I swear, what a bloody power drill for this behaviour. To be honest, what I should put on those springs is a bit of WD-40 rather than IPA. Look at that, that's the best one out of the lot. Excellent, so that needed the contacts on the motherboard and on the 72 pin connector sorting out. So I'm going to pop that back together and then we'll give all three one final try. Lid's back on a bit, just oh, it's not plugged in. Yep, we're still getting a picture. Lovely. Right, let's get some more of it back together.
We're seeing troops now streaming in from as far away as the North Korean border from the eastern military district in Russia, many of them going straight to Belarus, which of course, if you look at a map, you'll see means that they can not only attack Ukraine from the eastern part of that country, they can attack it from the north, and they can get within a very close distance of Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, and they can encircle Kiev. So, to my mind, the prospect of a war is quite substantial, and I don't think that war would be limited. I think it's much more likely to be a major campaign designed to punish the Ukrainian government and bring it to its knees in order to force it to sever ties with the West, perhaps even to topple the regime. I hope I'm wrong. I sincerely hope I'm wrong, but I do think in the coming weeks we are headed towards that sort of eventuality.
So the idea that...
Whoops, I've had the radio playing. Can't have that. Get copyright strikes from LBC. So that's back together nicely. Power's in. Cartridges in, and yep, that looks good. that one. Excellent. And then the first one, which seemed to be working fine. So hopefully it still is. It's only been on the floor for a while. And yeah, that one's working okay. So we've got 3 up and running. Now, there was one that was in pieces already. This one here. I believe this one works. I just wanted to make sure. Yep. So that just needs a lid putting on it. And then this is the one that is playing up still. This is the one that had the purple screw in. And I think I'm going to need to find another 72 pin connector, because it works like that, but it doesn't work in its proper position. I mean, the only thing I can think of, where's the screwdriver? I'm just going to take these screws out. I don't know if it's maybe sitting at a funny angle, because this did take a severe amount of effort to get these screws in and out. So maybe they're pulling it at a funny angle. I just don't know. So this one will go back on the faulty pile. But let's just quickly try it without those in. And see if that makes any difference. If not, I'm not going to tinker about with it anymore, because we've got 3 out of foot. Oh, have a word. So it works in both positions, but also like that it works. Okay, let's just not bother with them. Let's screw in the long silver ones. And the ones at the front. So okay. It would appear that it was sitting funny. Now, I don't know if when I put these back in, it's still going to work, but I guess we'll find out. So yeah, it shouldn't work like that, but it should work like that. Take it back out. And then we're off again. Okay, these two are staying out for a minute. No, it's not that. Yeah, it's the 72p, and I don't have a spare one laying about, so unfortunately, yeah, today's effort has seen 3 fixed and 1 to go in the I need to be fixed later pile. So cool, thanks for watching. I'll see you around on the next one. Catch you later, bye.